I see those sleigh bells jingling, ring. It's Christmas time. It's my favorite time of year. I love Christmas so much. I love the decorations and the stupid songs and the movies and all the stuff. But I especially love giving people gifts. Now, when you're shopping around Christmas, sometimes your loved ones, your partner, your parents, they can be the hardest people to shop for. So I'm gonna help you out today. I've got a little secret that I'm gonna let you in on. Most human beings eat food, and most people that eat food cook food sometimes. So, if you know somebody that cooks food, you can get them stuff for their kitchen. I'm not talking about like those cheap kitchen gadgets or none of that junk. We're talking about high quality stuff that they're gonna use and enjoy every single day. Functional, useful kitchen tools, and ones that they're gonna think of you when they use them because they have so much fun cooking food because of those tools that they're just gonna be super happy and overjoyed that you got them that cool stuff. So today, let's go over my top 10 kitchen gear, gadget, gizmos, etc. Things that you can get people that you love for Christmas or any other time. So number one, we've got a beautiful kitchen knife. See, if you cook food, chances are a knife is your number one most used tool. You're gonna make big food into small food, and this guy is the right tool to do it. The reason I like to give people Japanese kitchen knives is because they're beautiful, they're super functional and high performance, and they last pretty much a lifetime. So they're gonna make that person super, super happy. When they open up that box, they're gonna go, whoa, or something like that, somewhere between those two. Either way, it's gonna make them super happy on Christmas morning. And so I think a great knife is a great place to get started, especially if you know they don't have, one really fancy good kitchen knife. Number two, you want something that's gonna be easy to maintain. I would go with a stainless steel knife, unless you know for sure that person is down with high maintenance tools. Otherwise, giving somebody a carbon steel knife, a knife that can rust, it's kind of like giving them a puppy for Christmas that they have to look after. So stick to stainless steel. Third, you want to go for a shape and size that they are going to use every single day. A Santoku or a Gyuto, basically a small chef's knife, big chef's knife, depending on the size of the person, what they're comfortable with. Either of those are going to be super handy day to day. If you know they already have one of these guys, you could get them a smaller petty paring knife or a nakiri for chopping vegetables, maybe even a carving knife since the holidays are coming up and they need something to carve that turkey. Now, if you do get somebody a knife, you want to make sure you get them a couple of tools to maintain it, and these can help beef up that stocking a little bit. So, number one, you want a ceramic honing rod. This is basically a maintenance tool, sort of like a toothbrush for your knife. You brush your teeth so you don't have to see the dentist as often. You use this guy so you don't have to see the knife sharpener as often. So, you set this guy up, tune it up like that, once a week, twice a week, you're in good shape. It's going to help your knife stay sharp about twice as long. You also want something to protect the blade. This guy's a blade guard, and it's just a simple solution, right? Really elegant. You can chuck that in a drawer, no problem. That way, if you don't know if that person has a knife block, or maybe they might want to take this knife when they're traveling so they can cook good food anywhere they go, this guy, really, really handy. In addition to those things, there are a couple other things they want to do to make sure they take good care of the knife, but every knife that we sell comes with a little care letter. It tells the story of who made the knife, and it talks about the things that you should and should not do with your brand new kitchen knife. Okay, next up, we have a cutting board. These guys are gonna be better for your knives because they're a great, nice, soft surface to cut on. You wanna make sure that the person you're giving the knife to is cutting on wood or plastic, softer materials. But these guys I like giving as gifts because they last pretty much forever, or about as close to forever as a cutting board can last. Let me tell you a little bit about them. They're made in Canada by Larchwood in Nova Scotia. They're an end grain board, which means when you cut, you're cutting with the fibers of the wood rather than against it, and so it's gonna be better for your knife. Because of that, they're also a lot less prone to warping. With a lot of boards, no matter how good you take care of them, eventually they can curve and not really sit flat on the countertop anymore. These guys are gonna stay nice and sturdy and flat the whole time you have them. But you wanna make sure you take proper care of them, like anything. Now, if you want to treat your loved one to something a little nicer to store their knives on, you can get them one of these magnet bars. These guys, also made in Canada, in Quebec, and they're really, really beautiful. We've got a few different finishes, cherry, walnut, maple if I'm not mistaken. And here's how it works. You mount them up on the wall, knife goes on, ta-da. It displays your beautiful knives. It gives you a little bit of room to grow your collection a little bit, and it just is a really elegant solution. You can even stick them to tile using double-sided tape. If you don't think they'll be into the magnet, maybe they got kids, we have all kinds of knife blocks and other storage solutions on our website as well. Now we're getting into gadget land. We've moved a little bit away from the things that they're going to use every single day, like a knife and a cutting board, but we've selected some really high quality tools that I find I use in the kitchen quite often. I've always been a skeptic of the kitchen gadgets that do one job, you know, the banana peeler or the mango zester, or, you know, whatever, random tools that aren't super useful. So I've picked out a bunch that are very useful for a wide variety of tasks that I find myself using at least once a week. First up is the microplane. These guys have been popular among chefs since the 90s, but they're very useful in the home kitchen as well. These guys are just basically fine little zesters that you can use for citrus, for mincing garlic, for hard cheeses like Parmesan to make fluffy clouds of parm. You can even use them on hard spices like nutmeg. They're very, very handy. I find I mince a lot less garlic and ginger nowadays because I just zest it on here, and it kind of saves the mess, keeps my cutting board from getting nasty. So I'm a big fan. They also make them with these colored handles as well. These guys are really popular among home cooks. The handles don't fare so well in the dishwasher, which is why I'm more a fan of just the classic, but both are an awesome choice. Next up is the King Tong, and these guys are sort of like tongs, but just better. I find these tips are a little more delicate on, you know, nice cuts of meat, things you spent a lot of money on. They're very slender, so they're great for getting into like pickle and olive jars and picking things up. So I use them for flipping things on the grill, for getting meat out of marinade and brine if I don't want to get my hands dirty, getting things out from under my fridge, you know, in between the grills and my barbecue. They're just a really handy little tool that have basically replaced tongs in my kitchen. They're solid stainless steel, so they're very useful for anybody that likes to barbecue, even for, you know, carving meat at the head of the table. They're just a super handy kitchen tool. One thing that I like to use my King Tong for is lifting up my grill presses. These guys are made in the USA from solid stainless steel. They are called chef's presses. They're basically a weight, a fancy looking weight. But the reason they're so handy is anytime you have something that likes to curl up in a pan and not stay flat, you know, a piece of salmon or some bacon, these guys press it down so you get a more even contact on the surface and a more even cook. You can stack them up if you need extra weight. Say you got something real big on the grill. You can even shingle them if you want to. If you've got a whole fillet of salmon that's kind of curling up on you, you can go like so. Very handy. I use just one for grilled cheese, kind of keeping everything all together. And they're even handy for keeping meat and even vegetables submerged in brine or marinade. So these guys, super handy, easy to wash as well because they're just solid stainless. You definitely need a couple of these in your kitchen. And then we have the best vegetable peeler of all time. I know it doesn't look like much. This is like a $10 vegetable peeler. It's just plastic with a little blade, but the key is in the blade here. It's high carbon steel, so it's crazy sharp. You do need to dry it off when you're done using it because it will rust, although I haven't been that careful with mine. I haven't had any issues. This guy, obviously great for peeling carrots, potatoes, that kind of thing, but there's a lot of surprising other uses. You can get really fine zucchini noodles using them. You can zest citrus for cocktails. They've got a wide variety of uses, and they're cheap and cheerful and colorful too, so they make really great stocking stuffers.
No, that was fantastic.
That looks fucking amazing.
Okay, and then last up we have the Mighty gift card. Look, I know it's cliche, but some people are just impossible to shop for, and you should just get them a gift card because they're gonna like what they get for themselves. So you can help them with that. When I was a young cook and I wanted my first Japanese kitchen knife, my family just got me Knifewear gift cards until I had enough so I could go get a big fancy handmade kitchen knife. Nobody wanted to drop 250 bucks on a knife for me, understandably. If you're in a hurry, you're watching this video on December 24th and you forgot again that Christmas happens on the 25th, don't worry, head to knifewear.com, you can buy a gift card online, we will email you a digital card which you can then print out or just forward to the person you're getting the gift for, and voila. Instant gift, right? It shows up in literal seconds. But don't take my word for it. This is what my coworkers are getting their loved ones for Christmas this year.
This is a super cool Knifewear logo hat for my dad. This is a super cool Fujimoto Nishiji 240 Gyuto, which is for my husband. And this is a Zampa Nikiri, which is actually for me.
Well, I am getting some fancy ravioli molds. I love them because I can roll other kinds of pasta on the back and I can use the ravioli molds, and I'm always trying out new fillings, and so I'm getting these for some friends of mine so we can have a pasta party. And also the Nona's Ussini boards are awesome for the same reason, and pasta's all about community, and I'm planning to build some community this Christmas.
I love the King Tongue. It is awesome. It is so good for flipping stuff on the grill. You were kind of planche, flat top. So good for flipping toast, everything. Love it. Pretty much everyone I know is getting one for Christmas. Regular one, also very good, but I still prefer the curves better. I love Chef's Press. They are an amazing product. They're US made, handmade, just beautiful. Stainless steel. I prefer the 18 ounce. I find the other weight's a little too light for what I do. I like that little bit of heaviness. I used to use cast iron pans. This is way sanitary, way nicer. I like it way more. And they look really good. This is my favorite. Silverthorn boning knife, amazing, beautiful, made in the US, new product. I love it. I really like the Sharpies. I usually just give them to friends as little kind of gifts. Everybody needs a Sharpie all the time. They always ask, oh Nolan, do you have a Sharpie on you? You used to be a chef. Do you have a Sharpie? Do you have something I can write with? They're great.
Couple things I'm looking forward to giving away as gifts this year. This double-ended Tavolo spatula, honestly, when it first came in, I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. But you know what? This thing is fantastic for getting to the bottom of your blender. I know a couple of real smoothie makers. This is definitely a stocking stuffer. This is another great product I really like. It's a great spice grinder. It opens up, you can put a jar of spices in here. I like grinding whole spices. You just get so much more flavor out of them. You can roast your own spices, etc. The grinding mechanism's on the top. You don't get stuff all over your counter. It's ceramic, so it does a really great job, and it's gonna stay nice and sharp a long time. And you can adjust the thickness of the grind. I really like using this stuff called Panch Phoron. It's like a whole sort of Indian flavored spice, and grinding it fresh just makes a huge difference. I really like these Abigo beeswax wraps. Now, the thing that I don't know who I want to give this to. Frankly, I kind of want to give it to myself. It's beautiful. It's a really stunning knife, and it's a really unique shape. And if you've got a bread maker or a brisket barbecuer, or just someone who likes roasting a big piece of meat, this Ryusen Privaire slicer, I think, is a beautiful present. It is such an elegant looking knife, and it's amazing. It's beautiful steel. So like all of the great Japanese knives, it's gonna be super sharp, but you can see we've got a few serrations up here at the tip of this nice Damascus blade. So what that's gonna do is if you've roasted a piece of meat like a brisket, it's got like a hard crust or a bark on it. This will bite through that crust, and then you'll use the smooth part to make the rest of your slices. Same if you've got a nice piece of sourdough bread that you've baked. Great little offset here, really makes it comfortable to hold, and it's just a stunning knife. I think this would be the premier gift to give someone out of the collection we've got this year. All right, thanks friends. If you need more help finding a gift, leave us a comment below, we'll get back to you, or visit us in store, Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Vancouver, or come to our website, shoot us a message online, check out our gift guide. We got a ton of helpful articles to help you choose a knife and other things. Hit us up, we're happy to help. If you've already got your gifts picked out, you're an early shopper like me, leave us a comment below, let us know what you got people for Christmas this year. And if you want something for Christmas, but you don't want to buy it for yourself, we have a wish list system on our website. Head to knifewear.com, click on wish list, or check out the link in the description below. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy everything else. Enjoy. I hope you have a lovely holiday this year, and we'll see you next time.